Hey guys, my name is Z, and in today's video we're going to make a comparison between Davinci's Magic Mask and After Effects Roto Brush 3.0. Both tools are used for rotoscoping or masking, so we're going to use the same clip and we are going to try and apply some text behind it as well and see which one is better, if there's any difference between the two. I have this clip which is, it's fairly okay, but it's a bit tricky in certain areas. For example, here where the phone is pretty dark and kinda blends in with the floating shelf at the back there, and it'll be interesting to see the results. Since we're in Davinci already, I already created some text here. What we want is for this text to be behind the phone and partially the face and neck somewhere right here. So I'm just gonna unhide that, and then what you want to do is to duplicate your original clip and put it above your text layer, and then go back to the color page. You can always do this at the end of your node tree, but this is for illustration purposes, so you can just make a new node and name it, we'll just name it Magic Mask because that's what it's for, and then you navigate to this icon at the bottom which is written Magic Mask, and then from here you just essentially draw lines around the subject of your video, whatever you want the mask to kind of follow. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, it's done a good job already. You can also toggle mask overlay so that you see what exactly it's covering, and if the mask goes where you don't want it to go, you can just click on Alt on your keyboard and then you can draw a red line. You'll essentially be telling the application to disregard that area, and I think this is really good. Just gonna do some refinements here just to be a little extra. I'm not so worried about these parts at the end because we want our text to be somewhere above this side. I like this. Once you're happy with the mask you've created, you can go ahead and track your mask so that it actually applies to the entire footage. Because if I play this, you can see that that red overlay actually disappears. That's because we've only created a mask for that one frame. So to track for the entire clip, you can go here and track back and forwards, and it'll do its thing. It's done. As you can see, it does a really good job of staying with our subject. Now, I'm actually impressed though that it managed to tell the difference between the phone and the floating shelf at the back, considering they're both black. So now let's switch off our mask overlay, and you will notice that we can't actually see our text yet, and that's because we need to create an alpha output. So you can just right click here where you usually have your nodes and add an alpha output. You'll see this new blue dot will add here, and we can just link our node to the end. Now we can see the text behind. If we play this, that's pretty good. There's a little bit of jittering happening here and there, but it's not bad for the quality of the video that we got and the amount of time that it took for it to actually do this. If you want to make adjustments to the mask, you can use all of these settings that are here at the bottom. Now let's go to After Effects and test the same thing, and we have the exact same clip, we have the exact same text, and what you want to do is exactly the same. You duplicate your clip and put the one on top of your text, and then we can double click that layer so that it's isolated here in the program monitor, and you can select your Roto Brush tool here at the top, and exactly what we did in Davinci we can do here. So just gonna draw a line, just something rough around where I want it to focus. And first things first, you can see that it hasn't managed to pick up what Davinci picked up the first time I did it. But you can also do the exact same thing as Davinci. If you click on Alt on your keyboard, you'll see the cursor turns red, and you can tell the computer areas to ignore, and that's what we're gonna try to do here. So let's see how this goes. Surprised it didn't pick up most of the stuff. Davinci didn't take this long. Okay, this is that tricky part with the phone. I think we can try guide it. Okay, there we go. Let's manage to at least pick it up. Okay, that's, I think we are, okay, I think we've managed to somewhat get close to what we want. And by the way, before any of you come for me, we are using version 3.0 here. You can just always confirm in your effect controls. Okay, there we go. All right, I think this looks good. We definitely took a little bit more time than we did in Davinci. Actually, in Davinci, we didn't have to refine that much. But once you're done, you can actually then render your frames, and I'm gonna do that now. Now it's done rendering, and what we can do is we can click on freeze, and this simply locks your Roto Brush mask in place so that it doesn't keep on rendering all over the place. So that's what we'll do now. Click on freeze. As it renders this, I'm actually noticing how After Effects takes longer to just render these things. So that's definitely a disadvantage, and it's done now. So I can go back to my composition, and as you can see now, we can also see our text, and we'll just play back and see how it looks. So it definitely did a fairly okay job, but evidently there's a bit more jittery things happening here compared to the Davinci render. And I'm just gonna render both of them out actually, and we can look at them side to side. Premiere Pro is on the left, Davinci is on the right. Yeah, Davinci did a better job there. Premiere Pro has a little bit more jittery things going on. Davinci does as well, but it's a little bit more consistent in my opinion. And there's something about my beard that actually extends out with Premiere Pro. But look, it's not going to be perfect. And to be fair, I didn't go down to actually refining these using all the different dials just to make the masks a little bit more perfect. This illustration was to figure out which one is possibly faster and maybe even better. And in my opinion, Davinci's Magic Mask is actually better than After Effects Roto Brush 3.0. You can still use either or, but the likelihood is you're gonna spend less time in Davinci making these masks as compared to if you are in After Effects. So hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give the video a like and do subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Z, and until the next one, cheers.